Namaste. Continuing with the Karaka series, today we'll cover Shukra, that is Venus. Um, there are again several Karakatvas or significations of it, and I've broadly taken from two or three different classical sources. Uh, the first one is a very famous one, Patni, which is spouse. So Venus is Karaka for marriage. I should have also mentioned it is Karaka for Vivaha, marriage. As well as Patni. And Venus is the natural lord of the seventh house, also. From that angle, also, it is related to marriage. It is the natural lord of the second house, which is related to family. In fact, one would say one's own family. Okay. Because you have like the fourth house, which can be close relatives, sixth house, which can be cousins, but second house is a very core and close family of one. Um, Then next you have Madana, which is lust or passion. It's basically the impulse for having sex, and that's where if Venus is afflicted, it can affect one's purity quite a lot. Uh, it's also Bahuvadu, attachment to many women, or in case of women, it can be many men. Vilasa, sports, pastime, and entertainment. Vilasa can also be like, sexual enjoyment as well. But it is also, one can say, generally being entertained and happy, playing about, etc. Okay. Not playing about as a child, but, going out as a adult. Um, but in this case, due to Vilasa, we also say whenever we talk of the entertainment sector, acting and in general anything related to the entertainment sector, it can even be games for that matter. um, Venus would be the karaka for that. Okay, so if you find someone in the entertainment industry, they may have some importance of Venus related to their um, houses or yogas related to career. Venus is also Yuvati or young woman. uh, Vahana, very famous Vahana vehicles, and in this case, uh, you have to see whether it links to the fourth house, because fourth house is the house for vehicles, and Venus is the Karaka for vehicles. In this context, one thing which is not mentioned over here, which we use quite a lot, because vehicles is mentioned, movement. Uh, Venus as Karaka of the third house is related to short travels. Okay. Um, so you may go on a short vacation, etc. Typically, this is for relaxation. You may want to relax, etc. Like that. For that, Venus would be the Karaka, and the house related to that is the third house. Then you have Bhushana. Bhushana means ornaments, Vastram, clothes, Gandham, scents and perfumes. All these are Karakatvas of Venus. As you can see, these are all items which a civilized person, cultured person, well-off person, they will have these things in good measure, right? Obviously, everyone has clothes, but we're talking of more number of clothes, higher quality, and all those things. The more the higher quality, it reflects Venus at a very high level. In this context, I would say also Sokyam, or please ignore Villa over that. It's actually Vilasa, but Vilasa I've already explained above. Sokyam. Sokyam means comforts, and hence Shaya, bed. Okay. Um, but for bed specifically, the house will be the 12th house. Okay. Then Venus is, see, the seventh house. Venus is the primary Karaka for that, right? Now, and also the lord of the natural seventh house, which is Tula. The seventh house is also linked to Shri or Shri Shakti. Um, and Shri is the spouse of Narayan, right? And Shri is associated with Lakshmi, that is, we are talking of Lakshmi over here. She is associated with abundance, prosperity, good connections, the happiness which you get from, good connections and abundance of things. Okay, it's not just the wealth factor, but what you get, the comfort and happiness, the enjoyment you get out of it. We are talking of the enjoyment of things over here. And it is also about hence sampada, wealth, and trading, vyapara, because seventh house is also related to the business. Okay. uh, then Venus, one of the classical names of Venus is Kavi. Okay. uh, one of one of the results given here is kavita sukham, so the enjoyment or pleasure one gains from poetry. Okay. But the word kavi need not necessarily mean, I mean, originally the word kavi was not just about someone who is good in poetry. Yes, that is definitely someone who is very good at composing things, but Kavi is a scholarly person, but a scholarly person in the sense of someone who can compose things very well and express things very beautifully, right? So it's not just about the knowledge, but how beautifully that knowledge is presented. And that's why it has got associated with poetry. Okay. Then Sachivyam or Sachiva. Sachiva means a minister, a counselor, so someone who can advise. Okay, there are two main grahas who have, who are considered as ministers or gurus. One is Jupiter and one is Venus, right? And both have their own advantages. Jupiter is very much from the perspective of dharma, what is the right thing to do, how to go about it. Okay, while Venus is about how to manage things very well, how to get things done. That's why Venus is associated with management. They are people who very nicely understand what to focus upon. Okay. Um, Venus is also associated with uh, you know ability to see details and pictures, right? Why? Because the when you look at the dig or the directions, right? Venus is associated with the Agneya Kona or the southeast direction, which is the devata for which is Agni. Okay, Venus is associated with that direction, and Agni is what you require. Light is what you require to see form. Without light, you cannot see form. Okay, you cannot see the akara, the shape of things. Okay, so the ability to see, hence, if you were to say architects and all who are able to visualize, see things. Okay, and even jyotishis. In fact, one of the very important combinations for jyotishis is an association of Jupiter and Venus in the chart. It can be in the Rashi chart, it can be in the Navamsha chart as well, right? A very strong and positive association of these two grahas is important. But this Jupiter Venus combination is basically helping Agni. That is the important thing. That's why it is related to Jyotish. So it's not just Jyotish. What is Jyotish? Jyotish is about predicting or looking into the future. So someone who is into forecasting, like you have industry experts, say as stock market experts who have to predict how things will rise and fall. They have to go into the details, nitty gritties. Some of them may have a strong Venus about them. Okay, as I've already mentioned, architecture, painting, these sort of things also require a strong Venus. So this is in a nutshell the various significations related to Venus. There could be many more. I have told the important ones over here. Please feel free to leave your comments and questions, and if you feel anything important has been missed, any important signification, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. Or if you have any questions related to any of these words or meanings, etc., please let me know. Thank you so much. Bye for now.